bear in mind there's been tremendous progress in education in Southeast Asia over the last 3, 4 decades. Most were, as you know, post-war nation states that were founded after the war. And education was central in that development of the nation state because the nation state needed to provide opportunities for its citizens. It needed a labor force so that the economy could grow, shift from a colonial economy, if you like, to an industrial economy. So there was a tremendous investment in education across all the countries in ASEAN and in Asia generally. So what you have is over maybe a 5 decade period, uh, tremendous progress made in enrollments at the primary level, at the secondary level. In most countries, substantial increases, changes to the curriculum, more and more investment in technical and vocational education. And now we are seeing more and more students in the post-secondary sphere, in polytechnics and in universities. So I think that should be a background to when we look at what are current problems and issues. For me, the current problem principally is one of quality. We have enrollment. Children go to school, but children do not often stay in school. So attrition is high. And the poorer the country, the more rural the segment in the country, the greater the attrition rate. And the attrition rate, if you take it according to languages spoken or if you take it according to gender, disproportionate in terms of certain groups and not the others. So I think educational quality, in addition to access, is going to be, I think, a major issue. A second issue that I would identify would be the relevance of curriculum. We all talk now a great deal about globalization, 21st century competencies, but many curricula are very industrial in orientation. There's a great deal of emphasis on disciplinarity, of discrete subjects. And the learning model is basically you go to school, you as a pupil are assumed to know nothing, the teacher knows everything, the content is in the textbook to be mastered, and systems say, well, you've learned if you pass the exam. Right? So it's a very industrial input-output model. But today we're beginning to recognize that's no longer sufficient because the amount of technological change, the new skills that you're requiring, are going to be very different. So how curriculum and pedagogy, the teaching and learning changes, is going to be a major issue. Take ICT, for example. We are all familiar with iPhones and tablets. Practically every student who goes to school has an iPhone. But classrooms are still blackboard and chalk. Classrooms are still textbooks and exercises, right? The learning model is not kept up. And finally, for me, with a background in teacher education, I think teacher quality is fundamental to the quality issue. And how we select teachers, how we prepare teachers, how we incentivize teachers, and how we keep the best of them in school for 40, 50 years, that's an enormous challenge. So I think these are the sort of issues that systems are facing now.